He was born with nothing. No money, no connections, no guarantee of a future. Just a boy from a small German town, with grease on his hands and fire in his eyes. Nobody looked at Karl Benz and saw a legend, but Karl Benz looked at the world and saw something nobody else could, a machine that could move without a horse, and that vision changed everything. Karl Friedrich Benz was born on November 25th, 1844, in a tiny village called Rivalry, Germany. His father, Johann Georg Benz, was a locomotive driver, a man who loved machines, who breathed iron and steam. But fate was cruel. When Karl was just 2 years old, his father died from pneumonia, leaving behind a young widow and a baby boy with absolutely nothing. His mother, Josephine, was a woman of iron will. She had no money, but she had one dream, to give her son an education. She worked tirelessly, sacrificing every comfort, every luxury, just so Karl could go to school. And young Karl didn't waste a single day. He was brilliant, obsessed with how things worked. At the age of 9, he was already reading books on science that most adults couldn't understand. At 15, Karl passed his entrance exam for the University of Karlsruhe, one of the most prestigious technical schools in Germany. 15 years old, walking into a university filled with men twice his age. He studied mechanical engineering, and for the first time in his life, he felt like he belonged somewhere. The machines, the blueprints, the calculations, it all made sense to him in a way that nothing else did. But graduating didn't mean success, not yet. Karl spent years working for other people, in iron construction plants, in a factory, doing the work of a skilled engineer, living the life of a poor man. He had ideas burning inside him, ideas about engines, about horseless carriages, about a future that everyone else laughed at. His colleagues thought he was dreaming too big. His bosses saw him as just another worker. Karl couldn't stop thinking. In 1871, he took the biggest risk of his life. He partnered with a merchant named August Ritter and opened his own mechanical workshop in Mannheim. This was supposed to be his moment, his chance, but almost immediately, everything fell apart. Ritter turned out to be unreliable. The business was failing. The equipment was being seized for unpaid debts. Karl was watching his dream collapse in front of him. And then she walked in, Bertha Ringer, the woman who would not just save Karl Benz, but help create one of the greatest automotive companies in history. Bertha came from a wealthy family. She believed in Karl with her whole heart, so much so that she secretly used her own dowry, money that was meant for her marriage, and invested it into his failing business. She didn't ask permission, she just believed. With Bertha's money, Karl stabilized the business, and now, with his mind free from financial panic, he could finally focus on his obsession, building a motorized vehicle. He worked in that small workshop night after night, sketching designs, testing engines, failing, starting over, failing again. The neighbors thought he was crazy, the investors thought it was a waste, but Karl and Bertha kept going. In 1879, after years of relentless work, Karl Benz successfully built and tested his first two-stroke gas engine. It was New Year's Eve. The engine turned over for the first time, and Karl reportedly danced around the workshop with joy. He had done it. He had built a working engine from nothing. But he wasn't done. This was just the beginning. He continued to develop his ideas, and in 1885, he completed what would become one of the most important inventions in human history, the Benz patent motor wagon. It was a three-wheeled vehicle, powered by a single-cylinder four-stroke engine. It looked strange, it looked fragile, it had no horse, no steam, no external power source, just a small engine and the courage of one man who refused to give up. In January 1886, Karl Benz received the patent for his invention, patent number 37435. This date, January 29, 1886, is officially recognized as the birth date of the automobile, the day that Karl was born. And the man who made it happen started life with nothing but a dead father, a struggling mother, and an unstoppable mind. But here is where the story takes an incredible turn. Despite inventing the automobile, Karl was struggling to sell it. People were afraid of it. They didn't understand it. They thought it was dangerous and impractical. Karl was once again on the edge of failure. And once again, Bertha stepped in. In August 1888, without telling Karl, Bertha Benz loaded their 2 teenage sons into the motor wagon and drove from Mannheim to Portsmouth, a distance of about 104 kilometers. She became the first person in history to complete a long-distance journey in an automobile. Along the way, she fixed problems with a hairpin, cleaned a fuel line with her garter, and figured out mechanical issues on the road. When she arrived, word spread across Germany. People saw that this machine was real. It worked. It could travel. Sales began to grow. Karl Benz continued to improve his designs through the 1890s. His company, Benz & C, became the largest automotive manufacturer in the world by 1900. Meanwhile, another engineer named Gottlieb Daimler, Karl's rival and contemporary, was building his own powerful engines and cars. Daimler worked with Wilhelm Maybach, and together they created the first Mercedes automobile in 1901, named after the daughter of their key business partner, Emil Jelinek. For years, Benz and Daimler operated as separate companies, rivals in the same industry. But after World War I devastated the German economy, survival required unity. In 1926, Benz & C merged with Daimler Motorgesellschaft to form Daimler-Benz AG, and the cars they produced would carry a name that echoed through history, Mercedes-Benz. The boy who was born with nothing, the boy whose father died before he could walk, the boy whose mother sacrificed everything for an education, the boy who worked in other people's factories and dreamed in secret. That boy built the foundation of one of the most iconic, most luxurious, most powerful automotive brands the world has ever seen. Karl Benz died on April 4th, 1929, at the age of 84. He lived long enough to see his invention transform the world, long enough to see roads built for machines instead of horses, long enough to know that his name would never be forgotten. Today, Mercedes-Benz is worth over $70 billion. Their cars are driven by presidents, celebrities, and champions. Their logo, the three-pointed star, is recognized in every country on Earth. But behind that star is a story that most people never hear, a story of poverty, of sacrifice, of a woman who worked herself to the bone, of a woman who believed when no one else would, and of a man who looked at an empty workshop and saw the future of transportation. The next time you see a Mercedes-Benz on the road, gleaming, powerful, perfect, remember where it came from. It came from a 2-year-old boy who lost his father. It came from a mother with empty pockets and a full heart. It came from a woman who drove 104 kilometers to prove the world wrong. And it came from a man who never, not once, stopped believing in what he could build. That is the real story of Mercedes-Benz.